Welcome everyone, this is Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, here with another Transformers video review. Today we're going to be reviewing the Studio Series Stinger. I like Stinger because so this is Stinger from Age of Extinction, and I thought it was kind of fun how they set up this like rivalry between Bumblebee and Stinger. That basically, that Stinger was just like a repaint of Bumblebee. And they're like, oh, but he's better in every way. And Bumblebee was all upset about it. Ironically enough, actually, this toy transforms better than the on-screen adaptation, because the on-screen version simply bullshitted from one mode to the other. Actually, before I get too far into this, I do have one piece of business to address. The results of the giveaway. In my last 3 videos, I mentioned that I'm giving away Star Wars: The Last Jedi, this digital version here, and nobody wanted it. So I'm not actually giving this away, I guess. Yeah, not a single person actually completed an entry. So I was wondering if somebody could give me a little bit of feedback on this, if maybe the entry process was too complex, if the reward wasn't good enough, or if just nobody was interested in a free movie. Whatever the reason is, if somebody could let me know, that'd be great. I want to do better, so help me out here, guys. But anyhow, back to Stinger. So Stinger is supposed to be, there is that that company that Stanley Tucci made, that made the Transformers out of the Transformium / bullshitium, and so this was basically their version of Bumblebee. We never got a toy for this figure. I mean, we got like a one-step changer, but I don't really get one-step changers because I'm not like a child. I mean, a man-child, but like not like a child. I like some complexity to my toys. We got a Legends scale figure, but it wasn't based off this design. They just took like a pre-existing Legends figure and repainted it, and like, oh look, it's Stinger now. Trying to think if we really got anything else. I don't know that we did. But anyhow, here he is compared with the Studio Series Bumblebee. Now I know that these are not the same figure, from the same movie, but I can deal with it anyhow. You can see that they are just about the same size. Some really good design has been going into these Studio Series figures. I like them, actually. Like Bumblebee, Stinger is a bit small for the price point. But I think especially as my collection grows, and I'm going to start showing off more of that as it does, I think the big purpose of the Studio Series collection is to have the collection, and they're all meant to be displayed together because they're all designed so that their robot modes are roughly in scale with each other. And I think that's a great idea. I know that scale is, especially robot mode scale, is something that we've been kind of iffy about. And I know that they're not all going to be right. For example, the Lockdown figure seems to be a pretty Voyager-sized figure, or sorry, deluxe-sized figure. But I know that Lockdown in this scale should be a deluxe-sized car, but a Voyager-sized robot. Because there's just some crazy changes in height going on in that movie. So we'll have to see. I'm thinking that the Lockdown is going to be rather short for his for what he's supposed to be. I don't know. Anyhow, in terms of articulation, head is on a ball joint. It rotates around more or less unhindered. It looks down quite a bit, looks up quite a bit. One of the things I don't really care about this figure is that his chest is really, really open. Like, you can just see right into there. And I mean, the tires kind of fill up that space, but they don't do a really great job of it. I kind of wish that there was something better about that, but you know, I don't know. It's still the best Stinger figure we've ever gotten. um, his arm will go all the way around. It's on a nice big ball joint with a big cutout on top, so it'll go all the way out too. He's got a bicep swivel right here at the elbow. He's got kind of a detent here. So not sure exactly why, because it's not like it's really required to like, oh well, you have to have you have to have like the little friction locks in the elbow, otherwise the arm won't stay up. No, the arm is just, it's gonna stay up. It's not too heavy to stand up. You can move these around. There's some range to this. You can move it out to the side. I like to have it just kind of not like directly over top, but like put it out to the side a little bit and then tuck it down. Just because I like the way that looks. There's no wrist swivel or anything like that. He does have these little wing things on the back. They kind of like flap. And these ones move in and out. The whole thing moves like that, but that's more for transformation. I don't know. When you stick it out in the back, like all the way to the back, I feel like it sticks out really far. And when you put it up, it kind of looks kind of silly. So I kind of just like stick it like halfway in between and pray that nobody really notices. I suppose if I really wanted to, come to think of it. Oh yeah, and by the way, all these things fall off. I suppose if I really wanted to, I could actually, because this is just on a mushroom peg, right? I could just pull that off and just not worry about having that in the car mode, in the mode at all, which would actually probably make the vehicle mode work a little bit better too. This part tends to hang down too far. These suckers do come off. You can pretend they're like throwing weapons or whatnot. You can attach one onto his arm and have like a, I don't know, give somebody the hug of death, something like that. For his hips, he's got ball jointed hips, so they're pretty unimpeded. They'll move all the way forward, all the way back. Got full Van Damme going on here. Mushroom peg, thigh swivel there. Knee bends slightly less than 90 degrees, maybe more than 90 degrees if you account for the overextension forwards. No real articulation to the toe, though this goes for transformation. I suppose you can use this as like maybe some posability. But yeah, that's it for articulation. Let's get him transformed up. I always like to take these things off because if you don't, then they'll get in the way and maybe fall off anyhow. By the way, so this is the only accessory he comes with, but this is kind of an interesting thing in that in the movie, as I recall, I don't know, maybe I'll have to like watch the movie again. I don't know how I feel about that. Actually, I do know how I feel about that. But I don't remember him having any kind of an arm cannon. I'm assuming that this is what this is kind of meant to be, like an arm cannon. It's kind of hollow because it's just, you know, the window part. But especially from the front, the side, I think that it looks like an arm cannon, and I think that it works out fairly well. I'm just gonna keep on pretending it's an arm cannon. So I think that's a pretty nice touch. And you know, it takes all of this stuff and instead of just hanging off the back, like, you know, a lot of these figures do, just hang everything off the back. It sticks it on his arm, makes it into something that's maybe a little bit useful. Anyhow, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop up the head and we're going to slide these parts down a bit. Just kind of start disconnecting things. There's a pivot right here. You can see the screw hole here, and this whole section here is going to pivot around that, like so. And then this whole thing is going to rotate out. And you've got this little part here that clicks quite happily. I like that. And then we're going to take the legs here. We're going to fold this wheel section back and fold the toe in. So toe in, wheel section back. We're going to pull that around. And there are, it's kind of weird to see, there's a little tab right here. And it goes into a little peg hole right there. And so we're just going to take that and plug that in. It's not going to want to stay plugged in at this point yet, but we'll get it talking to in just a little bit. So with those legs more or less in place, we're going to take this arm right here first, and we're going to kind of straighten everything out. So this part here is going to extend out. You're going to line the forearm up so that this paint app goes all the way across. There is like a little tab in here that'll fit into the back of the hand. And there we go. This is as much as we need to get it at this point. So now we're going to do the same with the other arm, but we also have to deal with this little arm cannon thing. So we're going to extend this out all the way and rotate it around. Then we're going to take this arm and we're going to keep it rotated off to the side like that. We're going to go through the same process like we did before. So straighten this part out here, keep this hinge down, get all of this mostly into place, and then lastly move this around to kind of pull the canopy over the top. Tab in that hand part. There's a tab. It's actually on the there's a tab that's on this canopy right here that goes in this little slot right here, and that really like holds everything together. And then last but not least, we're just going to take these and just press them into place. And then we're going to take the head here, kind of tuck it down forward a little bit, and then that will go in. You'll actually see here, there's these little indentations right here and right here. Those go into the little ridges on this part here and fits in there quite securely. And there he is in his, I know it's Italian, like Pagini or something like that. Some sort of supercar. In fact, part of the reason why I think that maybe they didn't make a deluxe class toy of him is that it took a while for them to get the license for it. As I recall, the one-step changer actually has this alt mode here. But maybe it took them a while to get it, and that's why they didn't have the development time for deluxe. I don't know. You can take these here and can plug one on to the back there and plug one onto the front, and then plug one onto either side where these tabs on the forearm. Of course, if you do that, they're going to stick out a little bit underneath, but you know, to be honest, they don't stick out as much as this cannon sticks out of his alt mode if you stick it on the alt mode. Also, when you do that, this part likes to hang a little low. It doesn't really roll that well. I don't know. Maybe I will just kind of pull all this stuff off, and like this part too, and just throw it in the bag somewhere. But yeah, he turns into a good car. He's got really good the paint lines up really well, like the colors and whatnot. There's really good like color separation. Like I mean, you've got, okay, so like these are apps on a red piece here, and this is a black app on a red piece here. but like you don't have to worry about bleeding between like this section and this section because it's a different piece of plastic and all the way back to the back. You know, it helps that the canopy is all one piece here. Um, this part here is painted, but that it looks really good in conjunction with the rest of the body work. So I think it's a really good looking alt mode. The transformation on it's pretty clever. I think that they did a good job with this. I'm liking the studio series. I'm still like I mean I don't know if I'm 100% on board with it yet, but I'm getting there pretty well. I think that the studio series figures benefit from good engineering. And I think that they benefit from good paint applications. Um, and I've been saying for quite some time that, you know, I mean, we talk about third party figures and how, oh well, you know, they cost more than an average Hasbro figure. Um, but they're also, you know, better engineered and better designed and better paint apps. And I've been saying for a long time that, well, if Hasbro made a slightly more expensive line with better paint apps and better engineering, it would still sell. And I think that this is that concept actually coming out. Because you know, this little bumblebee, you know, he's not a bad bumblebee at all. And I mean, like I said, he's a little small for the price point, but when you're comparing it to like a third party figure, I mean, those are all really expensive for their size, you know, as a rule, basically. Um, and you know, but this he's got good engineering and he's got good design and good paint apps, and you know, that's what I like about these. Anyhow, going on long enough. Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching all the way through to the end. If you did that, you're awesome. If you didn't, then you can make fun of the people who didn't watch it all the way to the end. I am going to try and give this away again later, unless somebody's like, no, actually, that's really stupid. Nobody likes this. Then I'll be like, okay, I'll take a hint. And maybe I'll give away Transformer, something like that. I've got some Transformers I can give away. But I'd like some feedback on that giveaway. If anybody could give me some feedback, that would be great. And bless your face. Anyhow, everybody have a good day. Be good to each other, and I will see you later. See ya.